Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading or pick a group reading is all about the next month ahead. This is October when I'm filming this, but it doesn't matter. This is still a timeless reading of the next 30 days whenever you're watching this, but we are going to have some spooky themed cards. So remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it is simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. And no matter how you look at that, it's healthy and you are in the right place. So the month ahead, all these different decks that we will be using. I'm kind of rushing through them here, so pause if you need to. Comment if you need to get more information. And these are all of the oracle cards that we will be using as well. Okay, so yes, each reading we'll be looking at what you're leaving behind, what you're moving towards, and then we're also going to be looking into where you're going to end up at the end of the month. So go ahead and pause if you need. Well, actually, no, let's show you these. I forgot I used crystals too. Group 2. It's a very yellow stone. I'm not sure what any of these are. I think I knew at one time, and they probably came with little cards. And they got tossed into a little bag, and you know how the rest goes. This is probably citrine. All right. And that's definitely rose quartz. We'll see you in your individual readings. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked the little rose quartz heart and this deck of tarot cards, we're going to start with your oracles and then work our way towards the tarot. So let's look and see at what you're leaving behind first as we're moving into this next month ahead. What is group 1 leaving behind? Yes. Okay. So what are we leaving behind? Group 1. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay. Excellent. We have Peppers, number 28. Be fierce about the ways in which you protect yourself. Allies await. Interesting. I feel like this is significant to some of you. Maybe you use it a lot in your cooking. I also see these little mushrooms here. And like bottles. I feel like olive oil and stuff like that is important to you. Okay, anywho. All right, be fierce about the ways in which you protect yourself. Allies await. So I feel like right off the bat, some of you are starting off the month feeling kind of solo. Let's keep on moving. Queen of the Dead, number 31. Fear not the rage of the living. Oh, nope. Sorry, I'm like looking through this through the camera and I can't see. Fire living within, for it is the power of your fierceness waiting to taste you fully. Interesting. Interesting. We're going to keep going. Whiskey, number 41. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. Grieving, number 19. The chambers of your mourning are surrounded by nothingness, emptiness waiting to be seen. Interesting. You poor kids. Let's keep going. Meat and wine, 25. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. Okay, that's reading like celebration to me. All right, so the stuff that you're leaving behind is a lot of stuff. I feel like for some of you, there's a lot to unpack. I feel like breakup vibes for sure, and this could just be friendships or platonic relationships, but definitely like endings of relationships and romance as well. I feel that you are really taking it in stride of just onward and upward, here we go. Even in the sense of people that have had like an even more significant loss than breakup, like death, hard endings, and just being like, you know what, it is what it is, and just moving forward. Yeah. And leaving behind all the things that you don't want, like being afraid of, you know, what you are holding back, or holding back out of fear of what people are going to say, or out of their reaction, or however you want to look at it. And you're just like letting it out and leaving that fear behind. The grief, you're feeling the grief and therefore moving through it by feeling it. See the snakes with change. I see celebrating the little things. Some of you may be sipping back on some alcoholic beverages to kind of get through this rough time, etc. and so forth, especially if it's like funeral kind of stuff. A lot of times funerals have like an open bar kind of situation to help get everybody through. What else? I also feel like for some that it's not like someone passed or that you're going to pass or anything like that, but maybe you've done the same thing every time around this time of year. Like I'm thinking of like high school football and all that stuff, you know, that people get involved in every year. And this might be like the last year you're doing that. And so you feel like this particular autumn is like bittersweet in the sense that you're not going to be doing the same things at this time of year ever again, perhaps. Okay, what else? That's rough stuff. 28, 31, 41, 19, 25. Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of sipping in the good times and just moving forward because you don't have any control over whatever you've lost, is what I'm feeling. And so you're just like moving on. What you're leaving behind is essentially what you know is already gone. Woo. Spicy. Okay. Let's get some tarot on where you're moving towards. This is probably my favorite spooky season deck right here. So I'm really gonna grab maybe a lot of them. All right, we'll start with this many and see where we end up. We have apple, risk, and reward. The things you're moving towards. Change, yes. Midnight, the most magical hour of all. Interesting. I feel like for a lot of you, like maybe something ended in the middle of the night and you kind of just got up and hit the ground running. Invisibility, authenticity. Interesting. We're going to talk about that. And Skull of Darkness, blind spots. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What you are moving towards. So I feel like with those first two cards, the apple and then the change, it's like you're just going forward. And the same thing with like the midnight card, it's like the dark night of the soul, just like moving forwards. But at the same time, with the invisibility and the skull of darkness, I feel like you're totally like not even talking about this with anybody. Like you're not sharing this struggle with anyone. You might be watching this because there's no one to go ask advice of, etc. What else? But like a lot of you are just like sick to death of talking about it, sick to death of thinking about the situation that you're in or the situation that you're heading towards and or what you've been through. And so you're just kind of mulling through it on your own. I feel lots of ending vibes. Please apply it to whatever kind of ending you've been through. If you're like, I've been having nothing but beginnings, well, to begin, something else must end. So, take it where it resonates. But I'm feeling lots of ending vibes and just moving, like, not blindly forward, but just like head down, shoulders up, just like moving on, because what else is there left to do? I admire that stout spirit of yours. But I also relate to and empathize with your losses, my soul friends. Okay, what else do we want to say about these? What else are we moving towards? Like this is going to be moving further along in the month with these cards that we're getting right now. Gosh, I want to get so many for some reason. It's fine. I'm just going to take them. And we'll just squishy squish. Whatever we need to do. Yeah, what were you just talking about? Silence, number 36. There is a sweet embrace in the nothingness. Stillness brings a presence of self fully embodied. Yeah, just like it's not even like you're being passive aggressive or shutting people out because of anger or anything like that. It's just like you're the one that has to carry this burden, and so you're just carrying it. And talking about it is just going to make you feel worse. Is that what I want to say? Or talking about it's just going to like drain your energy, and you need every ounce of energy that you have to move forward. Wow. Owl number 27. Behold, sight, O ancient ones. There is magic in the darkest of places if one dares to open their eyes. Yes. So much loss energy. And so much moving forward in loss. It's very inspiring. I know that it's hard, but it's very inspiring to watch people move forward in the manner that I see this energy moving forward. Because like with loss, with the outcomes wisdom, we have Banshee number 5. Man, so much death energy. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. Interesting. We're going to talk about this. Let's keep going. Wolf number 44. Devour the ferocious calling within, the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. Lots of becoming, like ending energy, but also becoming energy of what you're moving towards. Very cool. Don't worry, we're going to get into more detail. I just don't want to get my cart before my pony here. Haunted number 21. The breaking of the floor beneath your naked feet. The creaking of the walls as the cold kisses flesh. You're never really alone when in the company of hauntings within bone. I feel like some of you, even though you are trekking forward from this loss, you also are feeling the loss. And that's what's haunting you as you move forward this month. The Broom, number 8. What dreams may come from what you seek. Make room, make way, a clearing need be. I feel like some of you are going to clean a lot of stuff. I feel like, for those of you that were kind of giving me like funeral vibes, like I feel like some of you are going to be cleaning out like someone's house, cleaning out like a locker or a storage area, cleaning out personal spaces. And Rooted, number 34. May you never fear. Nope. May you never. What? Sorry, I can't read these. It looks like terror, the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. Interesting. Yeah, I just feel like this like hard-nosed energy with all of the situations involved of just like you can't change things, you're just moving forward, dealing, but still like allowing yourself to feel and heal as you go, which is also inspiring. As far as what you're headed towards, that's a wonderful way to head towards something. But know that you don't have to stay silent if you don't want to. I just feel like most of you that are, it's because you're just, it's how you still yourself. Yes, let's look at some tarot. These cards are even harder for me to read, so embrace yourselves. I'm gonna be like, oh, I cannot see. It's pretty embarrassing. Just saying. Oy. These are sticky little cards that don't like to separate either. My Lanta. I'm like, and we're done. Here, we're gonna grab these two. Ooh, these 3, and then probably be done. All right, skis. Let's start. We have the Chariot. Talk about pulling it together and moving forward in this month of just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I know I'm like a broken record today. The Death card, change, endings, but unflinching acceptance. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles, generosity. Somebody might be generous to you in your time of need. She looks a little skeevy, but it's just because these are Halloween cards. Her intentions are good. The Devil, feeling a bit trapped. You are a bit trapped by your circumstances, that's for sure. Especially with things ending. There's nothing that we can do to bring certain things or people or jobs or ideas or, you know, how we thought a situation was, and then it turns out that's not how it was. Friendships, relationships, you know, because I'm not dogging on love. I don't think friendship exists either. What movie is that from, boys and girls? Give me a comment. All right, we're going to keep moving. 7 of Cups. I feel like even though you're dealing with all of this in silence, that like the emotions are kind of, it's not like they're all over the place. You're just actually like kind of like, I don't know if you're compartmentalizing, if that's what you want to call it, but looking at each one thing for what it is and not like letting it all bleed together as a whole. Of like, yeah, I'm dealing with a breakup, but I'm also dealing with some health issues or whatever, you know, like I feel like, or the news is really getting me down these days, but I'm also dealing with this toxicity at work. This is all stuff that you're keeping in their own little sections, right? Because they need to be, so that they don't get all bled together. Because if you start, you know, getting mad at people at work because you're fighting with somebody at home, you're going to start to look crazy. And we all know how that works at work. If you get emotional, people are like, oh, they're just crazy. Okay, we have the Empress in reverse. The King of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like, yeah, you're just this constant, it doesn't matter what falls apart or what you don't get. It's just this constant, like, head down, moving forward, overcoming those challenges no matter what. Is what I keep seeing consistently in your energy throughout this reading, to the point where I am feeling like a broken record. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to the where will you end up at the end of this month? Elemental magic, nature. Okay, some of you are going to get out into the nature a little bit at the end of the month. I feel like that's a very specific thing. Like some of you might take a late Halloween camping trip of some kind. Not magic, number 16. I can't read these. Binding. Ew. We're going to keep going. Maiden Innocence, number 18. Sacred Sites, Intensification. Oh. Sigil, Symbols. Sabbats. Oh my gosh, I can't. Celebration. Okay. So what I'm seeing here for what you're heading towards and what you're going to end up with is I feel like this whole just reaching inside yourself. A lot of times with elemental magic, this is a way that we can heal ourselves by using the things around us that are not human beings, because let's just be honest, people. And maybe I'm just empathizing with some of the cynicism I'm feeling for you, or maybe I'm feeling cynicism. Who cares? People suck sometimes. They don't help us in ways that we need them to. And so a lot of times it's just better to just reach within and find our own magic and our own abilities. Elemental magic is awesome because you're not using human beings, you're using the things that are already around you all the time. And so I'm feeling a lot of like you doing a lot of meditations, sacred sites, sacred rites, right? Doing not magic, binding things, like letting things out of your life that you don't want in your life anymore. Hanging on to innocence, like not getting sucked and mired down with like people's drama. I feel like you finding these answers and these strengths in new places, like with sigils. That's so interesting because I just started messing around with sigils myself recently. Didn't even know really what they were or what they did. And here we are. You learn something every day. It was just interesting that that's the card that you got for this reading. Ew. What else? I kind of want to grab a couple more of these. Crafter. Creativity. Yes, lots of thinking outside the box. Like some of you are going to go get a new tattoo. Charms, enchantment, glow up vibes. Excellent. I think a lot of you are going to go out by the end of this month or the beginning of next and really start kind of being a little bit of a social butterfly. But you're doing it with this like independent air of like, you know, maybe you go to the party alone. Maybe you don't go with a group. Maybe you go to the show alone. You don't go with a group. Or you don't go with your significant other. Or you go into the cafe and you just sit down and order something by yourself-sies. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I like it a lot. Okay. Let me know if this is helpful in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Keep rocking that wonderful energy, my group ones. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 2. So if you pick this little yellow stone and this very un-Halloweenish looking back of the decks that are actually quite ghosty on the flip side. But anyway, we're going to set those aside for now, and we're going to start with what you're leaving behind first. So let's look and see, what are you leaving behind, my group 1, as you embark into the next month ahead. Ooh. Even a lot behind group 2. If I call you a different group, I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that in advance. Let's zoom out a little bit. Excellent. These are just going to have to kind of stack them on up as we go. That's the order they went in. Okay. We'll go from top to bottom there. All right, let's look at what you're leaving behind. Witch's Rosary. Craft your skills with intentions repeated. A practice of magic powered by purpose. Ooh. I feel like some of you are stepping out of a very strict schedule or a very strict adherence to certain ideas. And adherence to like schedules, like we said, but like not even like a business schedule, maybe like like a mom at home schedule, or all of that kind of thing. But I feel like it was all tightly wound before, much like a rosary. Oh, I'm so clever. But anyway, it's like, I feel like you're moving away from this like structured environment in some way. Let's keep on moving. Be fierce with the ways in which you protect yourself. Allies await. Yeah, I feel like you're getting a little spicy, like you've been moving away from some sort of certain expectation. Or some kind of strict adherence to things happening this certain way. You're like, not anymore. Is kind of what I'm feeling. Coming of darkness. All the light is dimming. Life is withering at the core. Are you ready? I feel like some of you are like, hell yeah, I am. I feel like all of you are. But you realize that like you're taking that stance is going to cause certain things to fall apart. If you unravel something, it might not be able to be put back together again. Right? But I feel like you're like, that's just the nature of the beast, baby. We're moving on. We're just doing things differently. Like, yeah, I'm chopping the vegetables now, not whenever, I'm supposed to be doing whatever I'm doing when you bring the wood in. That kind of stuff, that kind of upsetting. So it could be little, it could be big. Autumn equinox number 3. Nothing is whole without the acceptance and acknowledgement of all. Okay, I feel like some of you are leaving behind this idea that you're not as worthy as others. And you're like, no, I'm actually an important cog in this big wheel. What else are we moving away from? Remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. I talked about allies awaiting as well, as you're moving away from certain habits or certain rules, certain expectations. Sometimes that can lead to endings of certain relationships of all kinds. And so a lot of times it can feel kind of lonely out there all by yourself, moving forward on your own. Your guides are showing with this card that you're not as alone as you may feel. And you actually might reflect back very soon on how alone you felt before. Yes. Okay. Moving along. Tobacco 40. Feed your ancestors. Raise the sacred smoke to them, for they are hungry to connect. Ew. The veil is very thin right now, my friends. And if you're not connecting with your spirit guides, now is the time to start if you are into that sort of thing. The veil being very thin gives us time to connect to guides we've never met before, who know us, but we don't necessarily know them. And they're all about like connecting and making way into your life in a way that is productive and helpful and protective and abundant and lucky and all that good stuff. What else? Sorry. One of my hairs was like caught in that deck of cards. If you already do work with your ancestors, go ahead and give them a little thinks of tobacco if you like to do tobacco offerings. I've thought about doing that, keeping tobacco around the house, because I'm not like a smoker and I'm not like to start just because it's around, but just to like puff a little bit out there for my ancestors, since it's something I'm not allergic to for a change. Strawbale 37. It's time you step out of your comfort zone, take up space, and reach new heights. Remember we were talking about your self-worth, like realizing that you're an important part of that wheel, or that important piece of that machinery, an important thread in the tapestry. Yes, you are. And I feel like you embrace that well as you move forward, that you're leaving behind this idea of like sacrifice of self and moving forward into embracing of oneself, which is gathering 42. Gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. I see a new circle of people coming into your life in some way. You know, it could be maybe you meet them online or something like that. But I feel like you're moving away from like old, very expected habits of some kind. And I feel like they're going to vary widely with each group. It could be something as restrictive as like family expectations or job expectations. It could be self-expectations that you're like, you know what? All of a sudden, I'm not going to be the person that is always put together looking. If you see me in a sloppy bun and no makeup and I look like hell, that's because I got stuff to do besides look pretty for you. I like it. I like you just embracing who you are as individuals as you move forward into this new energy in the next month ahead. Okay, let's look and see. Grief, my hair is just like everywhere. Not in the cool way, not in the luscious flowing way, like in the loose hair stuck to your face kind of way. Gross. Let's see what you're moving towards in the next month ahead. I'm going to take all of these. Yummy. These are my favorite little oracle cards this season. We have eternal love. Love is love is love. And it transcends physical death. Yeesh. We got serious there real quick. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. Creating through the ashes. The skull of flowers. Skull of light, illumination. Interesting. Man, y'all are a serious group, just like group one was. Just a serious group of cats here. Let me get another one of these. And joy. Rejoicing in the present. Oh, I like this. Okay, so I feel like regardless of what your relationship status is, and that goes for platonic, professional, romantic, familial, blah, 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 all the kinds. that you aren't going to compromise yourself as you're moving forward in this month. And you don't care if you have to do that alone. I'm also seeing, though, that you realize that if you rock that energy, then you attract what is really important to you anyway. And therefore, even though you are cutting certain things out and things are changing, and they could be things that you've done certain ways your entire life, it's opening up doors for new things, wonderful things to come in. Yes. And I feel like by winter time, you are going to be in this like very zen-like, you might enjoy Christmas for the first time, I'm hearing. I've had that before. I like Christmas all the time now, but I used to not. I used to hate it and get all stressed out. And then I eliminated all the things that stressed me out about Christmas, including traveling and shopping and being around large groups of people. And look, now I love Christmas. It's crazy. I like to decorate a tree. Just a tree, nothing more than that. And, you know, I like to bake little treats sometimes, but nothing crazier than that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like by winter, you're going to be in this new Zen-like atmosphere of turning this new energy into like a routine for yourself. Yes. Okay. Let's see what else you're heading towards for the next month. We have ancestors and nature spirits. We might get some more. Let's see what we got so far. Ancestors, they hiss a quivering so deep, only roots of your soul can lift the nakedness hidden within the vows made in silence. Good God. That sentence took me on a journey. I was not expecting, child. It's like, man, the further we go, the crazier it gets. I'm scared to read the rest. An ancient chill walking upon the spine. Number 3. Remember we were talking about the veil being thin? I feel like, this goes along with this eternal love card as well. The veil being very thin this time of year, all the way up until, depending on when you're watching this, but I'm watching or filming this during October. And so right around the end of this month, beginning of next month is when the veil is the thinnest, depending on what culture you're from. Between our land of the living, land of the dead, whatever you want to call it. And that is where they're talking about that eternal love. It transcends physical death and transcends us knowing each other in this life, meaning your ancestors that are still watching over you that you've never even met before in this life. You have no memory of them, but they're there regardless, watching over you. And they're going to start popping up more as the veil gets thinner. So if you want to start communicating with them, do your research, kids. Don't just start running out, buying Ouija boards and getting all horror movie stupid, as I like to call it. It's like kicking open your front door and being like, does anybody want to come inside? No, we would not do that. Therefore, don't read or connect with spirits that way. Hello. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm preaching to the choir with my people here. Nature spirits, 26. On your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. My goodness gracious. This is some mystic stuff going on here. I feel like your ancestors are telling you, okay, this is very specific for some, so just deal with it. It's going to be weird. Own it if you want to, don't if you don't. Some of your ancestors are coming through with a specific message that you have a line in your ancestry that is not entirely human. So that could be like, see how she's got little antlers? Like that could be some kind of earth beings, fairy beings, whatever you want to call them. I would just call them fairy folk in my lineage, but we're all different. So anywho, your guides are showing with this card that you have like abilities that are beyond human abilities. And that's what they're trying to teach you going into this month. Ooh, aren't you fun? Now, this is a reading. This goes beyond just office gossip, people. This is the meaty stuff that we like to read about. Let's keep going. Pumpkin number 30. Uncaging the spirit within, thou fertile power you hold. To taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift. I shall cherish each day that comes. Interesting. This is coming in specific for someone as well. Hang on. Oh. Some of you are very sought after in this group. Somebody crushes on you. That cute profile picture of you that you posted, they look at it way too much. Like if you knew how much they looked at it, you would be tempted to take it down because you're like, that's creepy as hell. So keep that in mind. I feel like this is not someone that you would reciprocate that feeling. That was very specific for some of you. For others, I just feel like you're just drinking in this this time of year, this closeness to your ancestors. Some of you really like the fall. Some of you really like feeling connected to like the passed away souls. It's not a creepy thing for you. It feels like wholesome and good and spiritual. That is also coming through with these cards. But some of you, yes, have a secret admirer that might not be so secret. You might know exactly who I'm talking about. I feel like some of you do know exactly who it is. And some of you might not, but like they definitely like you way too much. Black Cat number 7. There's a curious journey into the depth of the unknown, hidden so deep that only the brave will gracefully return with light in their eyes and shadow leading home. Interesting. Ooh. I feel like some of you are going on a vision quest. That's also very specific. I feel like some of you might even, as you're going through this reading with me, your ancestors are with you being like, here we are, we're ready to talk anytime you're ready to go beyond general and into specific, like we're raring to go. And so they're ready to start communicating with you. Like anybody can do readings on their own in different ways. We just all have to get our niche on how we like to do them and how our guides like to communicate with us. Are you gonna, is everyone gonna be able to do like full scale readings all the time? Like probably not. Everybody's like abilities are different, but you're never gonna know if y'all don't try. So your ancestors coming forward are gonna be like, hey, you need to get curious and you need to start thinking outside the box when you communicate with us, because that's how you're gonna get the good infos. My bros. Oh, I hope that just made you all cringe so hard. Okay, elders ancestors, elders number 15. Bathed from seed within the belly of the moon, they are the wise felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. Your guides are saying this, reminding you that there are some elders around some of you in your life right now that want to connect with you. Others, some of the spirit guides coming through are people that you did know that were your elders. Maybe you knew them, maybe not. But they are coming through very hard at this time to give you messages. All through this month, it's going to be getting thicker and thicker as that veil gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So if you're into learning new things, or if you're into just connecting harder to the things you're already into, now's the time to lean in. It's very, very good stuff that your guides are telling me here. Okay. What else? Okay. Let's look at some tarot. Alrighty. The month ahead, we have the High Priestess. Yes. Very much coming into your psychic powers, my friends. Just across the board, very, very, your ancestors and guides are just like, you will listen. It is time. You're like, okay. Ready or not, here we go. All right, next we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is something that some of you could stand to make some good money doing. Interesting. Hang on. Sorry about that. I was trying to sneeze and I ended up hitting just like the entire home button, which did stop the recording, but I was just trying to pause it. I wasn't trying to entirely get away. But anyway, some of you could stand to make some good money this month with the Nine of Coins. So if you had things that you're investing in and you're watching this reading with the month ahead and wondering where you're going to be financially by the end of this month, this is good news here. It's also something you're generating on your own, not really getting from other people, like your own idea, your own effort, your own hours, however it fits for you. So with the High Priestess coming in, it's like that nudge and intuition and psychic ability could also help bring about good paydays for some. What else did I want to say about that? Nothing. Okay, let's move forward. And this card's also about being recognized for being successful. We have Eight of Swords. Okay, so some anxiety. We'll talk about it. Oh, I leave this in because I think the ghosts together are cute. And it gives me partnership vibes. So I do leave that card in as kind of a wild card, and we'll talk about it. King of Wands in reverse. The Teacher. It's funny, that card caught my eye earlier when I was shuffling. The Queen of Wands. And the Two of Swords. Oh my. Okay. Your guides are going to get super specific about situations, so I'm just going to try to unpack as many of them as I can, and my mazy mind will take over, and God knows where we're going to end up, but here we are. So, because some of you are embarking on this newness, this like kind of undoing of things. Remember, we talked way back in the beginning about how you were kind of like undoing a rosary or undoing some type of like rigid, structured way that something was done before. I feel like there is some like fear and hesitancy and not knowing exactly how to move forward because you're either in a totally uncharted territory or it's just that emotionally and mentally like crazy that you're doing it, that it's kind of manifested itself into this sort of freeze for some of you. Not all, but some. And if you don't feel that at all, then don't worry about this part of the reading. I don't think this card even applies to you at all. Oof, doesn't that feel nice to cut that out of there? I feel like for others, you're actually not in it on your own. You have a partner that's very, very willing to help in some way. And this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be a parent. It could be somebody who would be glad to help you out, just like a good friend, depending on what your situations are. And they're more than willing to help you out if you just like will open up your mouth and ask them. If you don't ask them, they can't take that action that you need, okay? Some of you have been let down, and that's part of why this unraveling has taken place in the first place. And so with that application, you're kind of doing it on your own, and so you are in uncharted territory, and that's the message in this area right here. For all of you, you're taking all of this like very well with like learning your lessons as you go with the teacher card. I'm also seeing that you're apt and honest and ready to listen to others, give advice. And if it's good teaching, you're like, hey, I'll take it, and graciously thank them for their efforts in teaching you. So that's nice. What else? I feel like for some of you, with that unraveling of like one specific set regimen, idea, whatever, schedule, etc., there could be a little bit of going haywire of tasting all the different kinds of things. I see that in this as well. I'm seeing an independent streak with the Queen of Wands. I've noticed how the King is in reverse and the Queen's like, oh, good. I feel single vibes, regardless of gender, of moving away from someone who has let you down and moving into something that's more stable on your own and feeling a lot of pride in that and not feeling lonely or sad about it. I'm also seeing it being a conscious choice of actually choosing that kind of energy, of not sitting on the fence about it, of actually reaching out and getting it. If you can hear my stomach growling, I apologize. It's so loud. Spirit, what else can you tell me about the Two of... Oh. Okay. Any indecision that you feel or hesitancy that you feel while you're trying to move forward is going to be cleared up very quickly for the majority of the people watching this. That's a message that's coming through very hard and fast. Wanted to make sure that got to you. Anything else before we move on? Okay, let's move on. We're going to look at where we could end up by the end of the month. Outcomes. Final lessons. It's very hard for me to read these, so I'm going to hold them up to me. Authenticity with grimoire. Authenticity is in red there. I don't know if you can see it. Oof, there we go. Interesting. We're going to keep going. I like these bunches right here. Some of you are hungry. And so am I. Okay, here we go. Maiden, number 18. Innocence is the bottom word there. Not magic, binding, number 16. Spellcasting, number 7. Manifestation. That says, I believe. And the High Priestess again. Conduit. Ooh. Yes. Okay. So we were talking about how you were sort of unraveling something before. I see you unraveling so that you can re-ravel new things into new ways. I feel a lot of maybe unorthodox cutting away of certain expectations. I feel like maybe some of you, like, that could really vary depending on your individual situations. Like, for some reason, a woman getting divorced in like a conservative small town popped into my mind. And how that doesn't seem like that big of a scandal or that big of a deal, but man, a small town can turn it into one in a heartbeat, okay? And next thing you know, you're in a Hallmark movie, only without the cool guy in the sweater, the flannel or whatever, and he comes into the coffee shop, and you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I feel this like unorthodox, like splitting away in that way, like an almost rebellious kind of split, and being very creative in your split of like where you're headed, like coming up with new ways to be authentic, new ways to be innocent, new ways to knot things up, right? Or to schedule them. Okay, new schedules, new rules. manifesting your own desires and trusting your intuition to take you where you need to go. Ooh, I like it. Okay, that's all I have for you. Group 2. If this was helpful, give me comments on how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hi, group 3. So if you picked this like kind of black stone, it's light. Ew, it's obsidian. Actually, I see gold in it, but you won't be able to. Anyway. Not with my terrible camera. Anyway, let's put your tarot cards over here for now. And we're going to start with your oracle cards. What are you leaving behind first as you move into the month ahead? And we're going to get as many of these as we want. Whatever that means. God, what that means, Miriam. Nobody does. Ha ha ha. About that many. That's how many. Okay, let's back her on up. Ooh, other way. Yes. Okay. First we have number 44, wool. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and familiarity of finally being home. Number 44. Some of you might be leaving home for a little bit in the month ahead. Tea magic. Number 38. Reach into your subconscious. Pull from the source and weave magic with intention, and the answers will unfold. Tea magic. I love tea. Do you have tea drinkers? Cranberries. Number 10. Devour your truth and let it sink into the depths of all that came before and all that will come after. Interesting. I'm trying to decide if I want to start now or if I want to get the rest of the cards and complete it then. Hang on, I gotta decide. Yep, I'm gonna keep going. We have pumpkin spice and apple cider. Number 30. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. Darkness falls. Number 12. Within you live the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. Woo! See, this is why I waited. Let's see if I can zoom out just a little bit more. Legs, I apologize in advance. When you see my knees pop out down here, that's when we know we've gone too far. Okay, this one first. Cacao. Cocoa. You are loved and you are held and you are already everything you seek. Oh my. Interesting. For a very few, maybe just one, I felt like maybe in that area right there, that this month one of your sons is going to have some kind of a breakup or betrayal that doesn't affect you, but it affects you watching him be sad, and you're going to make him cocoa to feel better. Okie dokie. That was specific, but there it is. Crow 11. Pay close attention to, I can't see, to the winds. There's a message making its way. Sorry if you couldn't see that. I had to read it under the camera. Okay, things you are leaving behind. Interesting, y'all. Interesting. Okay. So starting off, I feel like some of you are out of comfort zone in the sense of I've got some like interesting vibes of like maybe somebody in college and feeling like they aren't doing the same things that they normally would be doing this time of year. Like if you're like a freshman in college, or traveling to a new place, or like enlisting or doing something where you're not doing your usual thing. But I'm also seeing you embrace new things with like the reaching into your subconscious and weaving magic with intention. Also with the cranberries card, like devouring truth and accepting everything that came before and everything that comes after is also very thick in your energy this month. Of you are nostalgic for things that are passing away or that you can't be with right now, but you're also moving forward in that also. What else? I feel like for some of you, it's a little bit of a guilty pleasure to get away. That's also a specific thing here. This shadow aspect of yourself, it's like some sort of a dark side has come through for like a specific few. And I'm trying to get that storyline because that feels different through here. It almost feels like maybe you feel guilty that you're not there to take care of somebody, but you kind of enjoy that you don't have to take care of somebody. You have nothing more than your own self to look after, etc. and so forth. What else? For some of you, I'm looking at all these teapots, but I'm also feeling like for some, there might be like an overindulgence of alcohol that is kind of leading to this feeling of feeling like you're on the verge of being out of control. Okay. And if that's the case, you just need to remember that you're loved. Like the main thing with you is knowing that you are enough. You are already everything that you seek, is what this card is saying for some. And so for those few that it was about like your kid, let's step away from that because that message was told, and talk about this like if it was you, like you're loved, you're held, and you already are everything that you seek. I don't think the darkness is going to overtake you this month. Okay. You know, like if you're trying to cut out some bad habits because of your health, I don't think your liver is going to fail you this month. Otherwise, you probably would be in a hospital right now and wouldn't be watching or reading, worrying about silly things like me doing them. But there's definitely like some change coming and like a message coming through to you that's important this month as well. Okay. Other things, people, other things. I like the idea of you letting go what is gone and moving into what is new and accepting it that way because it's going to happen anyway. Other things about moving away from. What are we moving away from? Oh, some of you are moving away from the darker aspect of yourselves. Somebody out there was like, just say the words, Miriam. I'm doing this reading for you, for God's sake. Yes, you are. Okay, let's go ahead and look and see what we're moving towards. Since I'm trying to go there anyway. Clearly, I'm getting impatient with my own self. This bottom one. The lamp, remembrance. Ooh. The owl, wise seeing and wise action. More owl action. We have dawn, the light after the darkness. Yeesh, this sounds wonderful. Ghost, regret. I spoke too soon. No, I'm just kidding. Death, the eternal cycle begins here. Okay. So what you're headed towards, like, holding on to your memories, holding on to your lessons, but also moving forward with that idea of like death and change. Knowing that regrets are inevitable in some cases because we can only see so far ahead. No matter how many readings you do, no matter how many, that's why all the reading people that you watch on YouTube don't all have mansions. Because if we could figure that stuff out, well, we would read differently in ways that get us more money. And so, that regret is part of not being able to see around every corner. But all you can do is move forward into light from darkness. And that, I feel like, is what you are embracing as you move forward into this new energy of the month ahead. Oof, I just made a big old mess. Any people out there that are very controlling that watch me do this just probably want to just tear their hair out. Yes. Okay. Moving along. Let's get some more what's coming towards you. Energy. We have Banshee number 5. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. I feel a specific message for that one, but we're going to... Ooh. There's nudity on this card. It's called Greet the Darkness. Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. Interesting. Ooh, so sorry for the noise. Okay, so we're going to cover these ladies up. With some crystals here. Whoopsie. There we go. Okay. Greet the darkness. Here where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all of their sharp edges. It's getting so dark so fast. Hang on. So it's like this is what you're headed towards. But you also know that like regret is part of it. You also know that death is like that not everything is certain. I feel like it's like this unflinching like moving towards the light in the darkness no matter how dark it gets. But this little area right here is also telling me something specific for some of you. And that is, if you've got some kind of plans that you're making this month that give you hope and good feelings, don't talk about them to certain people. Don't talk about them to anybody, pretty much is what your guides are saying right now in this specific instance. Only because it brings in darkness, because they just can't help but like drag you down, and then you end up feeling like less happy about it kind of situation. Okay. I feel like for that specific message, you guys know exactly who you are. So take that for whoever it resonates for. Graveyard number 18. There's a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end and acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. One specific message coming through with this one is that some of you might have this time of year, might be a time of year where you go and visit a grave of a loved one. It feels more recent, like you maybe haven't gone there yet, or you've only gone there once or twice since they've passed. So maybe somebody that's passed within like, I know some people are like, oh, I go to their grave all the time. Like, depends on where it is, Charlotte. You know what I mean? Not all of us are close by the graves we want to go visit. And some people avoid going to graves. I feel like this is more of just, time and circumstance. Not so much you like avoiding going, but just, yeah, not being able to for whatever reason, for proximity or whatever. But I feel like for some of you, you're going to be visiting a grave of a loved one this month. So if you're wondering if that's going to work out, then that is good to know. My goodness, the nudity with these cards. What are we going to do? My Lanta. Oh, might need a bigger cover here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Seduction. Here the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip, if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like, don't trust certain people around you during this time with that banshee energy and that whole like keeping your like good news to yourself because certain people kind of try to drag you down. That's definitely coming through with that seduction card as well, like seducing you with negativity, right? It might be that some of you, when you're visiting this grave situation, that you're dealing with certain family, and family can be a drain, you know, and that can be something that you have to try to like rise above and get through, right? I feel that as well. Interesting energy of what you're going towards. Your guides are like kind of being cautionary. Altar number 2, a sacred devotion, worship, skin deep, rising from the ash, the waters you keep. Okay, but I feel like those of you who are traveling a bit, or those of you who are going to be around family during this month, that you are going to rise above and find the beauty of the situation. Oh, that's a client. Just a second. Okay, sorry about that. What I did want to point out mainly with this altar card is this idea of rising from the ashes, rising up against the tide, rising up against injustice, all of those things. I feel like rising above a lot of that energy, that to avoid a lot of it, you just need to not tell certain people what you're up to, because some people around you are not rooting for you. Or there's just some people around you that are so negative that you don't want to have to let them drag you down with their own negativity. Okay. Next we have 9 of Ghosts in the reverse. 2 of Pumpkins. Whee! 5 of Pumpkins. Judgment. Four of Imps in reverse. Queen of Bats. And Knight of Bats. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I cannot stop coughing today. That whole time I was on with that client, I was like trying to type and chat with them that way, and it was a nightmare because the whole time I was coughing and it was really annoying me. Good thing they couldn't hear. They're like picking up on it energetically, and they're like, man, I really hated her for some reason. I don't even know why. Okay. So with the 9 of Ghosts or Cups in reverse, I feel like for some of you, you're feeling like the month ahead is pretty much your deal. As far as how other people want to deal with it, that's up to them. But you are very much standing in your own power and standing in your own wants and needs. See, I see you. it's not... A lot of times this card is about like not seeing what's right in front of you, but at the same time, I also see it as this determined, like, I'm not going to let things that fall apart or wishes that don't come true or things when they get a little bit hard drag me down and make me give up. I'm going to keep rising from the ashes, like that other card was saying, and going forward. So it doesn't matter if celebrations don't come through or people don't come through for you. You're still going to move forward and get where you need to go to take the actions that you need to take with that Queen of Swords and Knight of Swords energy of moving forward no matter what. Okay. What else is going on for you this month? We have the Hermit. Oh, mad scientist going on there. That's really cute. We have the Three of Cups. And the King of Swords. Yes, so very much in your power of overcoming any challenges that are coming towards you this month. You don't care what they are. I think some of you are reading this or watching this just to see if things are going to work out in your favor, and you're like, I don't care if they do or not in the reading because I'm going to make it happen, which is pretty awesome. Other things, oh, I just saw the Empress underneath as well, so we're going to go ahead and give you that one too. I see you hanging out with some good friends this month. I just also see you just knocking out challenges left and right and really putting yourself first. Your creative endeavors, like that scientist doesn't care if he's answered his emails or not, right? That scientist is all about figuring out what crazy, I don't know, corpse he's going to reanimate or whatever. Okay. Oh, there goes my table. This is what happens when I use it as a footrest. Okay. Well, let's get some oracle cards on where you're ending up at the end of the month. We have Grimoire, Authenticity. Yeah, you're going to end up in a more authentic place. Good grief, you with the nudity in these cards. Like it's your fault. I'm like, this is all your fault. Give her a little dress here. I think we got her. Cover this woman up. Okay. We have Ritual Magic Initiation. We have High Priestess with Conduit. I feel like you're the conduit right now in your own life. Herb Garden. I can't see what that says. Maybe you can read it, but I can't. Even from all the different ways I just tried. Herb Garden. Yeah, I feel like you're sowing your own seeds, doing your own thing. Coming into your own power, and you really are, if people can't handle it, you're just gonna, spell cast your way through it. Find a window if a door shuts, right? This is wisdom. With Diana, like just being very, what do you call that? Being industrious, rising above challenges, candle magic, intention. Yeah, being very mindful in your intentions. High Priest authority. Recognizing your own authority is what I'm feeling for you guys this month. Other things that I need to say? I don't think so. Man, it's a crazy month for everyone so far, but I feel everyone's also handling it really well so far. So if this was helpful, give me comments on how in the comments section. You can give me topic ideas there as well. If you want to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, group. Oh, what are you? Group 4? Yes. Let's set your tarot cards aside because we're going to look at what you're leaving behind first with our seasonal deck that we are going to be retiring after this video. So if you liked this deck, you can check out a review maybe if I have one. What is group 4 leaving behind or moving away from as they move into the next month? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Okay. Harvest Moon number 20. Slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. That song, Harvest Moon by Neil Young, is playing in my head right now. Slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. Interesting. I feel like some of you have just been going, and you're wanting to get out of that. I'm feeling that very strongly. I'll add to this as we go. Straw Veil, number 37. It's time you step out of your comfort zone, take up space, and reach new heights. Interesting. Mountain Cabin, 27. There are times when solitude can be healing and enlightening. Pomegranate, number 29. Dare to taste the unknown. Let it seduce your spirit awake. Lots of little eyes that are seeing things in these cards. Breath Work, number 4. Allow your breath to expand your spirit and fill your heart. I feel like the full moon in October is going to be important for some of you. Coven, number 9. I am you and you are me. When we come together, we are all we seek. Interesting. Okay, so things you are leaving behind or moving away from. Your comfort zone, you're moving out of that. But I feel like almost like your comfort zone is chaos and you're actually being like, nope, I'm moving away from all that. That you're moving away from something busier, that you're moving away from a busier time. It might be that just in the next 30 days, you aren't going to be as busy as you were in the last 3 months. It could just be a natural ebb and flow for you where you work or what you do during this time of year that you're watching this. But I feel like you're also like, I don't know, like moving away from tasting the unknown. It's almost like if you were traveling, you're like looking forward to getting home. If you are, bustling about, you're looking for stillness. Yes. And yeah, just wanting time to breathe and time to spend with like those closest to you, even if you can't be with them in proximity. Yep. What else? So busy time coming to some kind of an end or stillness is what I'm mainly feeling you moving away from. So if you had a bunch of people around you, maybe not so much in the next 30 days. You might be doing some more solo activities, which I feel like you actually will like. Every time I see that little star on her head, I think about a Qigong exercise I have to do all the time called 1 through 10. Look it up. It's a fun little exercise. Skeleton for strength. This is what we're moving towards in the next month. Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. It sounds like a fancy way of saying good luck. Jack-o'-lantern protection. Man, you're heading through some good stuff. Good energies coming towards. Zombie control. I also feel like that's good. Mummy change. I think we have room for this last one here. Trick or treat, mischief, and play. It did kind of want to come out upside down. I feel like if you want to take it as upside down, you can. I feel like for a lot of you, you're not in the mood to play games right now. And you aren't for this month. You're looking forward to some solitude, some quiet, some control, some change from what you had going on before. You're taking advantage of quiet time. I feel like somebody is like getting away, like taking a retreat in like a cabin, like that mountain cabin card that we were just looking at a second ago. What else? Or like trick-or-treating in a quiet little neighborhood, like house sitting somewhere, but it's not your house. And so it's just kind of fun to play house in someone else's house. Interesting. You interesting people. Group 4. Let's get some more. What are you headed towards cards? Elements. Remember to feel the warmth pulsing through her womb. You are a child of mother. True harmony awaits you. So divine feminine energy, earth energy as well. But yeah, just like being one with your surroundings, being one with the elements around you. We have altar. Number 2, a sacred devotion, a worship skin deep, rising from the ash like the waters you keep. Interesting. What's coming towards you? Cauldron, bewitching, yes it be. Blink and you shall see a bubbling desire left in the brewing rain. Also, divine feminine energy again with the cauldron. Divination number 14. Take a breath. Take it twice. Insightful reflections are guided by light. Yeah. You have good advice coming towards you this month. Either from your spirit guides or just people in general, through surroundings, through experience, what have you. But you're getting some good lessons this month. Things that you'll appreciate. The veil, number 41. It's quite possible your eyes have become the fog in which you dwell, a half-swallowed glimpse of all that you truly are or can be. That the tears you bleed are ready for the storms to turn the skies inward. Interesting. So the veil is very thin this time of year that we're doing this reading, and it's going to get thinner the further we go into the month of October and into November. So that's what immediately popped into my head when I saw this card, but then it's talking about like perhaps you're not seeing your full potential. Perhaps you're not seeing the full picture here about yourself. And I feel like that's actually kind of cool because you already have such a good sense of self in this reading that I feel like your guides are saying, and that's just the tip of like the iceberg of what you can do. Wolf, number 44. Devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. I'm getting Scorpio vibes with this card. I'm also getting lone wolf vibes, hermit vibes, that kind of thing. Anything else coming up this month? I feel like there's things that you haven't quite seen yet that are going to inspire you as you move forward this month. That's definitely coming through for a bunch, and I feel like I haven't articulated that properly. It's things that you're just going to kind of notice quietly. It's not really things that are going to be pop, bing, pow. It's everybody notices. It's going to be little things that you notice as you move through the month. Little ideas that you get, little life hacks that you pick up. Little magic tricks that you learn. All right, let's get you some tarot. This is one of my favorite decks ever. 9 of Coins. Ooh, 9 of Cups. Knight of Coins. 8 of Coins. 6 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Everything's sticking together. It's driving me crazy. Okay. And the Chariot. Very nice. Okay. So, my wonderful group 4s. Very good positive energy coming in for this whole month for you. So we have the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Coins. That's all about being accomplished and getting what you want, your wishes coming true, being rewarded. The Knight of Coins is a slow but steady wins the race energy, and usually the payoff is better. The 8 of Coins is also about a big payoff after hard work, right? Or a long time waiting for things to materialize. The 6 of Cups, I feel like this lighthearted energy across the board with this group. It's like you don't let the little life mishaps like the 5 of Cups energy get you down. You always find ways to pull it together. And I feel like you're going to let that continue on through this month. But you needed someone to remind you of that or point that out to you maybe, is that you do kind of go through life with this positive outlook of not, I don't want to say like you're like a hopeless optimistic type that's like everything's fine, it's all part of God's plan, you know. Like meanwhile your whole house is on fire. Not like that, but this idea of like not crying over spilled milk or spilled coffee in this case, like not sweating the small stuff, picking your battles, and just plugging forward even when things feel like they're not moving forward. You know that they are. And that's a good, beautiful energy to keep, because then when momentum does pick up, you actually are a little bit more inclined to take the reins and be successful, which is very beautiful energy for you this month. I want to get some more of these cards for you. The Lovers, that's very nice. So good partnerships this month across the board. 4 of Cups. The Hermit. The Tower. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this is going to be sort of specific for a lot of you. Here we go. Okay, so with the Lovers, good partnerships this month, seeing eye to eye, good things for romance if you're in romance with others, etc. and so forth, okay? 4 of Cups is showing possibly someone in your life doesn't recognize your worth, or there's something that you're missing that you need to keep your eyes open for. Don't nap away or feel too complacent. And all this good news is kind of coming through. And it's not like anything disastrous is coming. They're just showing like to have these good things with, partnerships and people and things like that. You do have to kind of get out more than the single energy of the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. Kind of this idea of reaching out to your fellow men, or women, or whatever, your fellow people. Not to hermit up so hard, because I feel like those of you who do kind of hole up and isolate know that it can be kind of a downfall for you and become a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, oh, nobody wants to be with me, I'm lonely, when really you know the truth. It's an interesting little specific message there for certain people. If it's somebody that's not recognizing you for your worth, you need to speak up about it with that Ace of Swords. Speaking up so that it doesn't become a downfall, so you don't become hermited out and not speaking up. Okay, just some little tidbits for the month ahead for certain specific people. What else do we have here? There's like outcomes, lessons. We have scrying, divination. I feel like you're going to be collecting good information this month, things that will serve you later. Magical clothing and empowerment. I thought that's what it said, but I didn't trust myself. Magical tools. Manifestation. I think that's what that says. Maybe. I can't see it. Magnification. There we go. We couldn't see it. Isn't that funny? What else we got here? We have the maiden with innocence. She's shown up in every reading so far. Moot or gathering. Yes, remember talking about not isolating from others, but becoming more interested in your fellow men's and women's people, whatever. Remember how I said that 5 seconds ago? Well, good. I'm glad you were paying attention. And I think we can get one more on here. Which is script. Secrets. Ooh. See, I feel like that intel that you're getting, that you're going to be getting inside circle secrets innocently enough, but you're not going to use them in any ill intent or bad way, but you are going to use them to serve you in different ways. And that's okay. Your guys are saying that that's a good thing to do. It does seem a little sneaky, and people are like, oh, I don't like it that you're paying that close attention to this stuff that I would rather people not see that closely. But you know what? It's part of living life. Sometimes you gotta deal with the fact that people are gonna notice what you do, right, y'all? Okay, anything else coming through here? I think that's all I have. So with that, I will let you go. Let me know if this was helpful in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you would ever like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We will see you in the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. Hello, group 5. So if you pick this citrine, these little tiny Halloween cards. We are actually going to set these aside and get your oracle cards first to see what you're moving away from during this new month. We have tea magic, darkness falls. Ooh, I'm starting to feel something already. Root vegetables, scarecrow. Foraging and harvest witch. Don't worry, I'm going to back this up. There we go. Okay, let's talk about these things that we're moving away from. Right off the bat, when I saw the tea magic and the darkness falls, I saw that some of you are leaving behind like gossipy people at work. Even if that means like eating lunch in a different location, if that's what it takes, if they want to be butthurt at you for not eating in the same room with them or whatever, let them think what they're going to think, and you just go and protect your peace is what I'm seeing right off the bat with that tea magic and the darkness falls. For some, more specifically, I see that you are actually taking yourself out of, maybe you did enjoy a little bit of gossip and hearing people spill the tea. You're like, you know what? It drags me down into a place that I don't want to be, and I'm going to rise up out of there and get into something else. So with the tea magic message overall, let's look at that real quick. For those of you that are doing that, that are getting away from like that type of energy, I feel like it's part of the, what am I trying to say? Like you're going back to your roots in this sense of like maybe a higher power learning that your great granny so-and-so taught you in some cases of like staying away from gossip and that kind of thing. As I was saying before with the tea magic message overall, it says, reach into your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with intention, and the answers will unfold. So I feel like that intention piece, if you're like getting away from gossipers and negative people, or even taking yourself out of that type of energy, they're showing that you're being mindful with your intentions of like where you're placing yourself, where you're placing your value, and where you're placing your like your talk, what you're talking about. Darkness falls within you, live the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of moving away from that like darker energy of, you know, gossipers, or of just energy that doesn't feel like it serves you in general. Root vegetables number 33, in those hidden places where most fear to go is where the most nourishment is waiting for you to behold. Yes. I feel like with that getting back to your roots energy, like I think that some of you had like an elderly person in your lives that taught you old world things. This reminds me so much of the book Bless Me Ultima, if you've ever read that book. If you like old Aztec kind of mythology in a contemporary American setting. Like, that sounds really, really bad, doesn't it? But if you're into that and you're into magic, you might want to check it out. But like somebody in your life that taught you old root magic, or like good roots in like lessons, life lessons that they taught you, etc. and so forth. What else am I trying to say? I feel that person very close by. They would not approve of like mean girl behavior, that's for sure. And so I feel that very strongly. What else over this month? I feel like drama is just high where you're at this time of year. And this is, you know, this is for people who are over the age of 18, I guess, because of the way that I set up the privacy. But like, I almost get that feeling of like catty high school girl energy, which people can do in any age and setting that they prefer. It's like more of a state of mind than a place. But I feel like that you're like moving away from that energy, and that guide would be approving of that because they can't stand that kind of stuff. Yeah. And going back to like your secret roots of knowing what's better for you, what your higher purpose is. Number 34 with Scarecrow. Remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. Yes. And yeah, and knowing that even if you break away from that kind of like energy, that you aren't isolating. It's the difference between, you know, removing yourself from unhealthy situations and isolating yourself and self-sabotaging, right? Totally different. And knowing that there's people out there that are rocking that same energy as you, you just need to find them, like find them out. Forage number 17. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. Yes. Yeah, when you leave that ishy stuff behind, there's nothing left but to find new fun things to do, right? Fun things to explore. I feel like winter, by the time winter comes for you this year, if you're watching this during the time I'm filming, that you're going to be very well stocked with like good people, good intentions, good plans. And you're not going to be as tired when the holidays roll around because you're not going to be as drained by certain people that are usually around you. And Harvest Wish number 21, what sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be? Yes. Like being mindful of like what you're putting out there as well as what people put out towards you. So like you realizing what other people are putting out towards you, even if it's not directed at you, you realize that that might not necessarily be in your best benefit to be around it. And so you also start to in turn learn by the end of the month that you are also putting something out there for others to see. All right. Let's get some cards on what you're moving towards, or what is moving towards you this month. So that's what you're leaving behind, is some negativity. Ooh, hidden talents. Ooh. For some of you, I feel like you might do this, what are they called? You know those little hobby store places where you go in with your girlfriends and you drink wine and then you all paint the same picture, something like that. I feel like some of you might do something like that for fun in a seasonal setting, right? And that you might actually realize that you're talented at painting, or that you want to take it up as a hobby on your own. It doesn't have to be painting, but that's the image that popped into my mind. Remember, you're just talking about winter and the sacredness of pausing. That by winter time, you're going to be so much more relaxed because you're going to have cut all that other negativity out of your life. Future fortune meets opportunity. So good opportunities are coming up and good luck at the same time. So that's pretty good news. Forgiveness, reducing burden. Yes, I feel like a lot of you are letting go of things, not because you're excusing anyone, and not because you're the type that actually forgives quickly. But you just don't have time in your life right now to have like resentments weighing you down as you're moving forward into all this great new energy that you've got rocking. I feel this bottom card here. Eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. You have a lot of guide energy coming through. Ooh, you got two here. We have joy and death. Rejoicing in the present, and the eternal cycle begins here. So yeah, just like basking in the moment, basking in change, figuring out little talents that you have that maybe you haven't explored yet, finding Zen-like activities to do that are peaceful, and just kind of finding a new way to find joy in your life through making these different changes that you're making. Very nice. Let's see what else we got going on. Stuff coming towards you in the next month. Ritual number 33. Can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft. A ritual of dedication to Sel and those whose gazes hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. So I feel like some of you are cultivating almost like a new tradition, or a new, I feel like somebody might be starting some kind of a new business, but like creating some kind of a new tradition for yourself. And you're like, this month is when you're really starting to throw things into motion. Rooted number 34, may you never, I swear this is tear, not fear. Tear the living ritual that is magic, merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. So you're showing that you're very grounded, you're moving forward, you're going to be, I don't know, I just don't see you getting mired down with any like nonsense. Like very mature, grounded energy. Voices, 42. With a tug at the gut, feel them romance your very breath. Listen to the gentle flickering within your eyes, for this is where they guide. Interesting. So you have a lot of guide energy coming through. A lot of times when the veil is thin, it's almost like people waiting in line in a busy like restaurant of like, hurry up, we need to get our messages into our people. I feel that very much coming through. Broom number 8, what dreams may come from what you seek. Make room, make way, a clearing easy. Some of you, I feel like, are doing some decluttering around your house this month. And if you aren't, now's a good time to do so, I'm hearing. Journey number 24, daughters of our mother, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you own. So moving forward with your lessons that you're gaining as you move forward. Let's get one more. Frog number 17. May the lily beneath your breasts allow you to drink from the healing waters. Be still, for there is serenity behind the drowning croaks. Yes! That finding stillness among like clamoring is what I'm hearing for you over this month. I don't know if it's like a busy time for you this month or if things slow down for you this month, but I feel like regardless of which of those camps you fall into, you're not going to be dragged down if you're around busyness. You're actually going to be like listening within, doing things with intention, having good luck come through, taking your lessons and turning them into good outcomes, etc. and so forth. Let's get you some tarot and see what happens. Okay, I feel these two for sure. Yep. I love little cards because you can fit more of them on your table. Temperance. Yes, see, like finding that balance away from that conflict of that 5 of Wands energy. And being resplendent while you do it. Getting good luck from that. Being seen as being above it. Okay. I feel like there's some higher up people in your life that might be kind of manipulative for some of you. If that's the case, then you know who you are. 10 of Swords in reverse. It's like I feel like you're staying unscathed from, feeling like trapped or feeling like you can't move forward. And that you're just slow and steady wins that race. Just moving forward, not getting bogged down with any of that negativity that's around you. What else? Okay, but also like having good things coming in your way because of that energy that you are rocking of like staying out of the drama, moving forward. I think some people, if they saw you as someone who is like one of the gossipers, right? Or you got kind of mired down in that, or maybe you know full well that you are one of those guys. Their perceptions of you are going to change as they see your actions changing. Oh, my Lanta, what a mess. We're definitely not picking up all those right now. So we have Queen of Cups and Three of Wands. That's your plans coming through well. It's also feeling emotionally fulfilled. Okay, and then the Hermit in reverse, like coming out of your shell a little bit. What else? Getting on well with coworkers, seeing through any like shady dealings. I feel like you're not going to be fooled by anyone. And yeah, overall, just like good, happy times with the Ten of Cups. So like really owning your own space. Okay, let's get some more Oracle. Okay, let's see what kind of outcomes are coming. Hecate, Underworld. Ooh, I feel like some really fun Halloween vibes are coming towards you guys, some of you. The Maiden again, man. She showed up in every single reading today. That's Innocence. It's like, I feel like you're going to have some good old innocent fun. But also, like, getting in touch with, like, this divine inner, like, inner magic, inner spiritualism. We have familiar spirit with assistance. You have a lot of spiritual energy around you right now. So if you're into contacting those, just call out to them because they are around. Just don't go meddling with stuff you don't understand if you don't know how to do that stuff yet. You can call somebody to teach you how to do it or, you know, look it up. That's my disclaimer. Iradia, magical. Just magic. You coming into your own magics. I really feel like you're gonna do some kind of Halloween celebration if you're watching this during October. Witches' runes. Foretelling. Got the Hangman vibes, like seeing things from a different perspective than what you normally do. New doors opening up for you, finding cool people that are more in line with you, how you are now. Sacred sites intensification, number 44. I get Four of Wands vibes from that as well, which is like good celebration. Finding your niche, finding a place where you belong. We got that with the Ten of Cups as well. Ooh. Witches of the Craft. No idea what that says. I have no idea what that says. Proficiency. There we go. Yeah, like really honing in on a craft or getting good at something. And Hagstone. Protection. That's funny. I thought that's what that one said first. So we knew it was happening. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the more that you just kind of keep that higher mentality of like moving forward and not getting mired down in like lower vibrations, you can only go up. So with that, I will leave you my group 5. If this was helpful, let me know how in the comment section. You can give me topic ideas there as well. If you would like a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye, 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 bye.